been nice to talk to you again because obviously it was last year, I think, Australia decides,
Yeah,
Electrify, and now we've made a total crazy path, and we're now
yeah.
Cyprus, and you're the Eurovision entrant. There's no national selection. It's
Yeah.
just straight into things. Is it all a bit surreal?
Oh, it's very surreal. Like, it's so hard to put into words the roller coaster that I've been on, because we spoke for Australia Decides, and now here I am getting ready to represent Cyprus. But it's just so amazing. It really is.
Yeah. Can you talk me through that journey slightly? So you performed Electrify, and then where did it go from there?
Yeah, so performed Electrify, amazing experience, met fantastic people, cheered Sheldon on at Eurovision. And then, I just woke up one day to this email that was just saying, hey, we've kind of been looking at you for like 3 years and very interested in you representing Cyprus, the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest. And then I tried to like process if it was a legitimate email. I was like, I don't know, this seems a little
Yeah,
bit too good
send
to
your
be
bank
true.
details.
Yeah, and then I did some digging, and I'm like, this is legit, this is real. So it all kind of started from there, and then I responded to them, and then had a little Zoom call, and it was like late at night here in Australia, and had my hoodie on, and we were just chatting. And then from there, we started talking more and more, and then organizing everything. And then, like, we fast forward to today, and I've become extremely close with the team, and I've had already made so many memories, and we're preparing, we're getting ready now. So, yeah, that's how it all kind of went down.
Amazing. And was it, I'm guessing it was always like a definite yes. There was no hesitation there.
There was we were kind of like negotiating a few things, because there's things that you need to look into when it comes to, especially I live in Australia and all these types
Yeah.
of things. But they made it very clear that they wanted me to do it, so it was very reassuring.
Um, so was Break a Broken Heart always the song? Because I know obviously that was slightly different to Electrify. It wasn't submitted, it was something that you've kind of composed for Eurovision especially. Is that a
Yeah,
slightly different creative process when you know you are making a song for Eurovision as opposed to kind of making a song that you think would be good for Eurovision?
yeah, it is. I mean, it's with Australia Decides. I had Electrify. I wrote that like years ago. That's just a song that I had. And when talking to the production team and stuff, they really liked that song. Um, and I really liked it too. And I thought, like, because it's got a little bit more of a Euro element to it, it might be a good thing for the Decide show. But now that like I got the position that I'm representing Cyprus, it's different. It's my brain was going in a different direction, thinking, how can I really explain who I am, like what's natural for me as an artist and what's perfect for Eurovision and also for all listeners around the world. And that's what we kind of came to the decision of Break a Broken Heart. And yeah, I'm just so happy the song's out now. But yeah.
And you're in a really good place because actually there's not many songs like it in the contest this year. It does stand out as a sort of kind of emotive ballad, from a man. So it does. It kind of it's one of a rare kind of breed at the contest this year. Um,
Yeah,
so you wrote it in Sweden, am I right in saying?
yeah, recorded in Sweden. So like the process was I didn't write this song, but it was we listened to so many songs because they really wanted me to represent Cyprus, and we had the discussions. And then this is something I just woke up to one day, like any other day. I had my pajamas on and I was like, what the hell's going on here? So I kind of just, this opportunity just came, and then my mind started racing because I was going about daily life, and I was like, we got to get back into Eurovision mode. This is happening. So we were just listening to so many songs, and we had our standouts. But then I remember listening to the snippet of this song, and then I messaged the team and I showed my dad, and I was like, whoa, like I think this has a lot of potential. And then, the test was like, we came to the decision that that's our favorite song. And it was a very smooth decision as well. And then, the test was, how am I going to sound with my voice on it? How's the song going to sound? Because all these things are very important, and some artists fit certain songs in a different way. flew all the way to Sweden, 23-hour flight, something like that. Got there in the afternoon, went to bed, woke up the next day, 11 hours in the studio, and that is what we came up with. So, yeah.
Amazing. Obviously, it sounds like it was a process that really just kind of flowed quite well. I know 11 hours is a long time, but actually, in the kind of context of making a song, it's probably not that long a time.
No. Yeah, it flowed really well. And I think that, like, as I said, I just got off this gigantic flight, and I basically, I said to myself mentally that I need to ignore jet lag right now, and I need to do this. Because, at the same time, as an artist, I've been chosen to represent Cyprus, and I'm here to prove myself to everyone, the team, including the team. And so I was like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to meet these awesome producers that are so incredibly talented and have many credentials. And I said, I'm going to give it everything I got. And I did, and I was super excited. I think everyone was really excited after that day. And then after the recording, the jet lag hit me because, as I said, I postponed it in my mind and in my body. I was like, You're not allowed to have jet lag. But then it got to me. So I got pretty tired after that. But I was just happy that I went and did the most important task, and it flowed really well. And that's the story. That's how it went.
So I need to ask, obviously, you've kind of been in the business for a few years now. How do you think you've changed as an artist, if you feel you have changed?
Yeah, I mean, I always say this, I value experience very highly. I always find, like, in my culture, with my Greek-Cypriot heritage, you always respect your elders. And, that's because of the experiences they've gone through in life. And I think it's the same as a human being. So as you grow up, I'm 24 years old now, and I'll look back at myself in 2, 3, 4 years' time, and I'll look at the growth that I've had as a person. And I think that when you're an artist, you're a creative person. You have that creative gene in your body, and you kind of just evolve naturally with that, with your own growth as a person. So, yeah, I think that things happen for a reason. And as an artist, I think it, like, as you get older, you find yourself a bit more than when you were younger. And it's the same thing as being an artist. You kind of find your sound, what works for you. I remember pretty clearly, when I was younger, as I mentioned, you're finding yourself. You're finding, the sound of yourself as an artist, and you're finding what your hobbies are and what you want to do in life. And as you grow up, you kind of get a better understanding of that. So I think as an artist, that's happening now too, for sure. And this song speaks to me in that way, as the evolution of Andrew, the artist.
Yeah, and I think as well, if you think of the kind of the range of experiences and things you go through just as you're getting older, then you've got that kind of bank of experiences and things to grow on, as well as the kind of artistry, and they kind of both help each other sort of flourish, don't they?
Exactly right.
So you have a fantastic Eurovision song here. What would you say are the specific elements that make a perfect Eurovision song?
Okay, Eurovision song perfection. God, that's a hard one. That's a tough one.
Hard. And this is like straight in with the difficult questions.
Yeah, straight in. Okay, let me think. Well, I think that Eurovision is, the slogan this year is United by Music. It's always been that element to Eurovision. Eurovision is uniting. And I think that a very important thing is it's something that people can relate to in whatever way they prefer. For me, this song, Break a Broken Heart, is about, going through hardships in a relationship and coming out stronger, finding yourself better. And you can kind of put that into anything in life, You always go through difficult tasks and difficult things in life. And, you can use that energy to kind of better yourself as a person. So anyway, back to the question. I think that a relatable topic, something that people can relate to, something, uniting is also a perfect element for Eurovision. And I think something unique too, but I think that naturally comes with Eurovision because every year you have such a diverse range of artists, sounds, songs. So it really is the ultimate music event. It's just like, you don't sign up for one particular, genre or anything. You get everything. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah, and that is a joy. It's a melting pot, isn't it? It's just all these different cultures and sounds and just kind of mashed together. And nobody knows who's going to win on the night. That's the joy of it, because the favorite doesn't always win. And it's a real just a wild ride. So you obviously have accompanied the song with a music video as well, which again really embodies that kind of feel of heartbreak, and that a lot of people will relate to. Do you kind of have a lot of input in the creative process with the music video as well?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to the team and I just said that it's got to be natural, it's got to be something that doesn't look forced and things like that. So we kind of came up with this concept for the music video. We also didn't want to, give away anything too much. We're going to leave that for the stage. So we wanted to have something that's simple yet effective and just portrays what the song is. And I think we did a good job of that. I'm really proud of the music video. And I was really grateful that I had a lot of input in the creative process too. Yeah.
I now need to ask a question that I know you probably can't answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Can you tell me anything about the staging?
Can't answer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've asked this many times, and I always have to give the disappointing answer of no. But I've said this before, and I'll say it to you as well. We want it to be epic. Okay, so that's what we're going to try and go for here. Basically, visually accompany the song. So however you would picture that in your head, just have that for now until you see it.
Okay. Picturing like rockets and disco balls, and it's one of these questions that I feel I always have to include, but I know I'll never get an answer. But I'll try. I'll keep trying.
Worth a try.
Absolutely. So your semi-final two. Good mix of songs in there. Have you listened to any of your competitors, your fellow entrants?
Yeah, I've listened to everything. I've listened to everyone's songs, and I think it's just typical Eurovision. It's amazing, like the diversity of Eurovision. For that to be a typical element of a song contest is fantastic because there's just so much diversity, and it's very exciting. And I know this is a competition, but I'm super excited to meet all these artists and get to know them and make new friends and do this together because what will be in terms of results at the end of the day, but we're all going out there to give it everything we've got and give it our best and make our country proud, our teams and ourselves proud. So, I don't want to, I'm just going to tell you flat out, I don't want to rank anything or say which one I like the best. I think everyone's amazing in their own right. And as I mentioned, I'm so excited to meet all these fantastic artists and make friends, and it's exciting. And I love that Voyager's in there too. So I've
both really come a long way. Yeah,
both come a long way, and I made really good friends with them at the Australia Decides show. So it's super exciting to be able to kind of go through this experience with friends already. And there's such amazing people, amazing performers. So that's something that I'm super excited for, and I know that the same will be for the other artists that I meet. The friendships will grow. So
yeah. There's a real sense of community about it, and as much as it's a competition, it's not really, because at the end of the day, these songs are all going to go and have a great life and build a kind of huge sort of fan base and a huge kind of exposure across Europe and the world. So yeah, they call it a competition, but really, it's a celebration, isn't it?
It is a celebration, united by music.
United by music. So united by music, obviously, there's a link there with the United Kingdom. Have you visited before?
Yeah, I've been to London before. Yeah, when I was about 17. I loved it, and I'm excited to go back to the UK. I'm excited to see Liverpool. Of course, I'm going to be a very busy man, so I don't know how much exploring I'll be able to do, but it's going to be nice to just be there and soak it all up. So I'm super excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you get a little bit of time to kind of explore the city and kind of immerse yourself.
That would be great.
So obviously you were in Cyprus as well recently because they had the big launch event, Panic Records and things. How was that experience? Was it quite full on?
Yeah, it was great. The first trip I met many people, part of the team, and then, the second trip that I had to Greece and Cyprus, I'd met everyone, and our relationship started to grow, and I feel really close with everyone, and it's very much a family sense, so it's really exciting. And I met Victor, who's representing Greece. I've been talking to him all the time, and as I mentioned, you see the friendships already growing, and it's the same thing within Greece and Cyprus now, and also the support that I'm getting over there, because I'm very proud Australian with a very proud Greek-Cypriot heritage, and going over there sees that come to life, because all the traditions over there we have here in Australia. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, there is that real kind of sense of community. Then I know that it's very big in the kind of Greek and Cypriot cultures. Um, it's funny though because you mentioned Victor there. I still cannot comprehend that Victor is 16. He's just
Crazy.
such a mature head on his shoulders.
He has such a mature voice too.
Yeah,
He really does. He's got like a very rich tone. He's got strength to his voice. Like he's only 16, and if I look at myself when I was 16, it's crazy to think that he's doing this at 16. So, you really got to give him props for that. That's amazing. Yeah. Amazing. It doesn't matter what age you are. This is a massive event. Yeah. But when the younger you are, the less experience you have under your belt, you can say. And he seems like he's just taking it in his stride and he's enjoying it. And he's a really nice guy. And I'm glad that I've met him. So I'm sure he's going to do amazing too. And I'm looking forward to doing this with him.
Yeah, you've got two pals over there already. You've got Voyager, you've got Victor. You're sorted. Just kind of going more to sort of general vibe about Cyprus. Is there a place in Cyprus that you would recommend to kind of watchers or listeners?
Yeah, well, I really love going to Limassol. It's fantastic. And on my bucket list is to visit Paphos, which is where my family's from. My grandfather's from Paphos. And I think I've mentioned to the team that I'm going to go to Cyprus first, then go to Liverpool. And I want to go to Paphos and visit where my grandparents are from. And I've heard that's a beautiful place, and I've seen photos. So I can recommend Paphos and Limassol. But I think it would be a really good omen to go to where my family started before I go to Liverpool. So yeah.
Yeah, like the kind of the cultural history of Andrew.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds good. Before I go, I need to give you a wee test. So Liverpool have a kind of quite a distinct vocabulary. Like all places in the UK, we've all got our own kind of language and dialect. So I'm going to test you on some kind of common Liverpudlian phrases. And just have a guess. You might know some of them because I know a lot of the Aussie and the UK things translate quite well. But I mean,
okay.
As a Scotsman, some of these were quite new to me. So, Scouser.
What was that? Say it again.
A Scouser.
Scouser. I don't want more, lad. No, I'm joking.
That's pretty good.
Is a Scouser someone that's like a young athlete? I don't know. I'm just guessing.
So Scouser is someone from Liverpool. So it's like you're a Scouser if you're from Liverpool. So that's an okay one. You could say that and not be punched.
I should have known that. My apologies.
Gobsmacked.
Gobsmacked is like shocked.
Yeah, good. If you're vexed.
Tired.
You're kind of angry. You're a wee bit kind of peed off. You're
a
bit vexed.
Okay, yeah.
Scran.
Is that like how I go have a drink?
You're on the right track. So food. Yeah, scran. Go to get some scran.
Okay,
some food.
Yeah, scran. Yeah.
This is like a proper old school like Liverpool expression. The busies. I'd imagine you've never been in contact with the busies.
So is the busies when you're swamped with work? I don't know.
The busies are the police. Like
the police. The police. Just so before you said it again.
Yeah, it's like the busy bodies.
I've never been in trouble with the busies. Okay.
Okay, if something is sound.
Something is
sound.
It's fantastic. That's sound.
This was a new one to me. If you're gagging in.
Gagging in
yeah, it sounds dodgy.
It sounds like you're getting amongst it. Like
you're getting involved when you shouldn't be. Like you're kind of getting involved in someone's business. You're gagging in.
Okay, bit of gossip somewhere.
Okay, if something is boss.
Oh, if something's boss, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that translates. I quite like this one. If someone is a Ming.
Ming is like sexy, like good looking, attractive. Is that what it is?
Kind of the opposite. It's kind of like an annoying person of a Ming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, keep that one
I
aside. Don't use that.
All right, I won't use that.
And the last one, if you're going to bail, I think this translates one. You're going to
Bail
bail.
means yeah.
You're getting out of here. And you know what? I'm going to let you bail now because I know obviously it's nighttime in Australia and you've got things to do. But honestly, it's always a delight to chat to you. You're such a lovely guy, and I'm so happy you made it to the contest. And fingers crossed, we're watching from Liverpool.
Thank you so much. It was great to chat to you again, and I really enjoyed that. So I've got some knowledge now going into Liverpool. So thank you.
Get out into the city, get gigging in, and avoid the business. Yeah. You'll be fine.
That's it. That's the plan.
Right. Okay. Chat later. See you later.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. See you later.
Bye.